Hello, Professor Ty. My name is Jonathan D. Shazer. I chose GQ Magazine as my subject matter to look at the advertisements and associate them with sociological concepts. The magazine is a perfect format because it has a ton of advertisement. It focuses on fashion, sports, politics, and men's culture as a whole. The magazine is full of advertisements, but in fact, the whole magazine itself is one big ad. Even the content that's just meant for a story has ads embedded within it. Almost like a movie would have product placement, the content has ads placed into them. Obviously, sociology plays a big part in the way advertisers decide to portray the products. In this demonstration, I'll connect sociological concepts with the certain advertisements that I chose. As I already touched on, the target audience here are men, ages 18 to 25, maybe upwards of 30, but it is targeting a younger audience. Um, I feel like that's where advertisers gained their loyal customers are at a younger age, and then they can advertise to them continuing into their adulthood. Also focus mostly on middle class because this is the largest demographic to sell to, I believe. They are choosing upscale products. However, I believe that they're marketing them to a middle class audience. The type of advertisement found in this magazine range from clothing to motor vehicles, cars, trucks, motorcycles, to watches or accessories, um, music as well, and travel and more. So it's a wide range of advertisements in this magazine. I didn't cover all of the advertisement topics or subject matter. However, they do cover that in the magazine. The first concept I noticed with their ad campaign as a whole, actually, I think this is one thread that runs through a lot of their ads, and it's the idea of hegemony, cultural aspects of social control, whereby the ideas of the dominant group are accepted by all. Just in this ad right here, the idea of the suit. Um, and the polo suit, polo being a very elite, luxury, high class sport, and even attending a polo match is a considered upscale and elite, and just you're expected to dress a certain way and act a certain way, and I feel that this is the idea that they're coming across, like you wear this suit and you are now a part of this another social class. It's almost you put this suit on and that steps you up a class or two. And I think that's a strong concept just throughout our culture in general, just that the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, that is an indication of class and status. Okay, this next ad is from GQ magazine. It's quite older than the previous ad. However, I just thought this is an interesting image and something that's definitely taboo, um, which is a norm ingrained so deeply that everything about violating it evokes strong feelings of disgust, horror, and revolution. The header here, two bytes are better than one, and it's talking about a early computer system or word processing system. But the image has one gentleman, two women, insinuating that there is some sort of intimate interaction going to happen between these three people, and this is definitely taboo. Definitely for our moral code, our value system, especially if you're in a committed relationship, monogamy is the norm in this country, and to do something other than that would be considered very taboo. And this is definitely selling this product to a young man here, the bad boy, and probably Maybe what a lot of um, computer programmer guys in a cubicle would love to see, and maybe envision themselves in some situation like this. I can imagine that that's what the advertiser is trying to get out of this advertisement, is just saying that, hey, this is for you. So pretty interesting. I don't know that an ad like this would go over very well these days. But yeah, that was a long time ago, that's for sure. This ad is another clothing ad, Calvin Klein jeans. It reminded me of maybe targeting a subculture group, maybe homosexual men. Obviously, these gentlemen here are embracing each other very lovingly, looking into each other's eyes. And if you look at the text that is attached to the ad, it's almost in a text message format, and just a kind of a flirtatious back and forth between what you believe are the two gentlemen here. Whether you agree with this or not, it definitely is a subculture within our society, because it is a group within society that is differentiated by its distinctive values, norms, and lifestyle. Whereas I think values differ from person to person. I definitely think that this subculture is for sure differentiated by the norm, and also their lifestyle, which is different than others. So I just thought that this was a good example of a subculture, and how advertisements do try to entice all walks of life. This I thought was a great example of achieved status, a status earned through individual effort or imposed by others. I think the individual effort here is obvious with the text saying "own it," and then it says right there in fine print, "become greatness," which implies that you are becoming these athletes here. You're achieving um, this status and this position based upon your hard work. And this is a ad for whey protein, which is something that is used by athletes um, to feed muscle gain, and then also another description here is imposed by others. If you've ever played any organized sport, you know that there's a coach and he imposes his will on you. Not every day. It's not every day that you want to be there, but he's there to keep you going and to help you become the best that you can be at whatever said sport. So this is one way of empower. This ad is a way of empowering young men to achieve their goals and reach their greatest potential. Given you use this product, maybe to help you get there. All right, this last ad's an interesting one to me, and this comes from GQ Korea, and obviously their target market is similar to ours, the young Asian man, 18 to 25, and I put this under role strain. Let me explain why. Role strain is experienced when there are contradictory expectations within one role. However, this is probably very common for Korea. This is not very common for the United States. Oftentimes, throughout history, the Asian man has been depicted as the antithesis of alpha male or sex symbol, usually depicted as more passive, and although intellectually strong, not necessarily physically strong, and definitely not the leading man character in a lot of cases. I think this is a stereotype that is definitely dwindling, and we're seeing more Asian men take those leading roles and action roles, and also modeling situations, and becoming just as they are as every um, culture has their male sex symbols. They're being showcased a little more. But I put it under role strain because it definitely is not the norm for to see an Asian man in those roles still to this day. Even though it's happening more and more, it's a minority situation, certainly not the majority or the norm. So I thought this was interesting and great to see, and I always like seeing stereotypes shot down. So this was a cool one. In conclusion, I just noticed that GQ magazine, like many other magazines, has a specific style of advertisement. Specific to GQ, focuses on gaining the young male buyer's attention using many different sociological concepts. And I think because sociology is a part of everyday life and ingrained in our society, that is the most effective way of gaining someone's attention, and also targeting a specific group based on common behaviors or interests or cultural norms. And I hope these concepts that I brought up and compared to the advertisements were clear. And I look forward to your feedback, and thank you very much.